And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Good Saturday morning, DFW. We've got an awesome show today. Just very eclectic mix of guests. And we're going to start with my first guest. He is Yogi Patel. He's the CEO and founder of iuseit.com. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a pleasure being here.
Okay. Well, tell us what iuseit is.
Sure. iuseit is, we like to describe it as sort of the Trivago of consumer electronics. So when people are online shopping and researching, instead of having to go to 10, 20 different websites, we kind of pull in all the key information, product information, features, specs, consumer reviews, expert reviews, pricing information to kind of create like a one-stop shop for when people are doing that research.
And it's got a cool name, iuseit. Okay, spell it for us.
iuzeit. It's like the phrase I use it, but with a Z instead of an S.
I love it. iuzeit.com is the website. So how did you come up with this idea?
My personal experience, I was kind of that person who spent hours doing research online, going to 10, 15 different websites. You're trying to process all this information. You end up making a purchase, and then, oftentimes you end up making a bad decision, and so you kind of go back to the drawing board. So we hear this story like day in and out. Even very recently, last few weeks, one of my coworkers, she was in the market for headphones, and she did all the research, spent hours, went and bought something, turned out to be a crappy product. She went back to the drawing board, went through the whole process again, and now she has two pairs that she's not satisfied with. So it's a common occurrence where people are spending days looking for stuff, and they're still not able to make a good decision.
And so you're bringing reviews together. You guys aren't personally reviewing.
That is correct, yeah. As of right now, the objective is to help, save people time, save them money, save them frustration by just kind of bringing all the information that they're having to go all over the internet to find in one place and kind of present it in a way that makes it much easier for people to process.
That's awesome. Well, I know one of the things that is really hot right now is transparency. Millennials want transparency. And so there's no hidden agenda here. This is like these are other reviews that you're bringing all together.
Absolutely, yeah. We have the luxury of being in a very unbiased position, which I think is important for consumers, because oftentimes if you're a retail store, you might, your interest is in selling products or getting rid of old inventory and whatnot. So for us, there really is no bias because we're just taking all this information out there. It doesn't make a difference to us what you end up buying. The main thing for us is to help you make a good decision.
And right now, primarily you're reviewing cell phone companies or bringing together the reviews of cell phone companies. Do the cell phone companies like this idea? Do they want this?
We haven't really had the opportunity to talk to too many cell phone companies. At the end of the day, if we can help consumers be more satisfied.
Tim Cook is calling in right now from Apple. I think yes, Mr. Cook?
I would rather be Steve Jobs.
So it takes a leap of faith, I think, to become an entrepreneur
Sure.
and take an idea from a table napkin to market. What have been some of the challenges along the way?
Jeff, we'd have to have a 1-hour special talking about challenges for entrepreneurs. There's this constant chicken and egg problem in all aspects. From these days, investors expect you to have traction in the market before they fund you, but you need money to get there. And so that's a never-ending cycle. And then early on, you're trying to get a bunch of users onto your site so that you can start to get feedback from them and continue to improve your experience and whatnot. And so some of these challenges common across startups, whether it's related to branding, funding, going to market, these are some of the same challenges that we face. I think the important thing for us is if you have a clear vision and a good level of confidence, then you're able to kind of overcome any challenges and just kind of figure out how to get to the next milestone.
So what have been the reviews on your review site? Is it positive? Do the users love it?
We're getting an overwhelming positive response, whether it's people coming onto our site or just when we're out and about at events talking. Everyone kind of has a personal story that they can relate. It's so common for us to hear, I was just looking for a TV or a laptop or a beauty product, and it would have been great to have a website like iuseit when I was in the market. So we get a pretty good response.
Well, I can see this thing getting really, really big. You see yourself going into other consumer electronics? I mean, would it be laptops and...
Yeah, we're actually about to introduce headphones in a couple of days, and so now we have all the major categories lined up. After that, we'll be introducing wearables, tablets, laptops, TVs. Our goal is to kind of cover the major electronics before the peak shopping season starts this year, around November or so.
Okay, how do you make money?
So a few different ways. One is we're not selling products, right? So we help you make a good decision and then send you off to either your choice of retailer or maybe the best deal,
Right.
Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Walmart. And so whenever people make purchases at those sites, we get commission.
Okay.
So that's one revenue stream. And then we're also now looking into kind of licensing data to businesses and retail sites so that we can start to help them out. People like Target, Costco, people who don't have a lot of rich review content on their site, kind of licensing our iuseit branded information to them.
Did you have any skeptics along the way? Like when you announced, hey, Mom, Dad?
Oh, man.
Guess what I'm going to do?
Skeptics, that's an understatement. I don't think that ever stops. You have large corporations like Uber who are worth billions of dollars, and you still have skeptics on, are they ever going to be profitable or not? So I think that's the case with anyone. You're always going to have people who say, this is not going to work. You're too ambitious. The vision is too big. But like I said before, if you have clarity on that vision, then all that just becomes background noise.
That's awesome. Now, tell me the early days of the life of the company. Was it, you mentioned chicken and the egg? Were there some sleepless nights?
Many sleepless nights. In the technology space, software itself, it's a challenge. You fix something else breaks. That's an ongoing thing. In the early days, we tried working with a bunch of third-party dev companies, and it just wasn't working out for us. So after like the fourth one, we said, all right, this is enough. Let's start building our own company, our own team, and we've seen great success since then.
Well, talk about some of your we talked about sleepless nights. Talk about some of the highlights so far in your young company.
Some of the highlights. So we actually, officially launched our site just a couple of months ago. That was a big milestone. Most startups die before they even get their product out to the market. So that was an important one for us. And now we're trying to, now we're working towards the next big milestone now, which is kind of validating what we're doing. So we have some traffic, and now we're just trying to grow our user base, grow our content, and continuously improve the experience.
Yogi Patel is my guest. He's the CEO and founder of iuzeit.com. Spell it again.
iuzeit.
That's awesome. And in terms of the number of cell phones you're reviewing right now, or collecting the reviews, how many are on your site?
So right now we have about 70 cell phones.
No kidding.
Yeah. So part of what we do is kind of drown out the noise in the market as well. When someone goes to Amazon or somewhere, you're looking for a cell phone, you see thousands of results. We kind of consolidate all that information. So take like an iPhone 7. You'll have 40 different versions of it on Best Buy, Amazon, etc. We kind of consolidate all of that information. So you see one product page on our site for an iPhone 7.
Do you think people would be surprised to see which ones end up with the best reviews? I mean, certainly Apple has a nice marketing machine going on, but when I was on your website, Apple products are not number one and not number two, are they?
Yeah, and that's part of the whole transparency thing, right? All these companies, Apple's a great example. They've done such a great job of branding, and oftentimes people get caught up in that and aren't always aware of the actual performance of other products in the market. So that's, one of our objectives is to kind of give that transparency and clarity to people and let them know that, hey, you don't have to buy a $900 product in 2017 to get optimal performance. You do have other options, and sometimes those options are better than what you might think is the best.
And are there some companies that have momentum? I mean, are you noticing something as you're comparing cell phones that a certain brand of cell phone is always dominant?
It's obvious that Apple has a large market share globally. Samsung, another flagship product there. But we are starting to see other brands kind of global start to gain some momentum, start to perform and provide very high quality products such as Huawei, Xiaomi, some of these brands that you don't necessarily see on a carrier site like Verizon, AT&T. But we are starting to see momentum from people aside from like Apple and Samsung, who, they cover a large part of the market share right now.
And the reviews are largely functionality, or what kind of things are people talking about?
Yeah, it's generally like, if you think about pain points that people have, people wanting better batteries, better cameras, wanting to take better selfies, better pictures, better performance, things like that. That's generally what all the experts and consumers end up talking about when they're reviewing these products.
Well, you have been an amazing guest, and I'm sorry we're out of time for this segment, but give us the website one more time.
It's iuseit.com, iuzeit.com.
Outstanding. Thanks for being on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Thanks for having us here, Jeff.
Coming up next, a woman who's lived a life of fashion and style, and now she's sharing it with others. Her story is just ahead on the Jeff Crilley Show.
More of the Jeff Crilley Show coming up.